I'm looking at your schedule right now. You got Clark coming in, and they would like nothing better than to beat their crosstown rival. You're on the eastern edge over by Gary, and they're on the north edge up by Whiting. And then you got to go to Highland, and Highland is a much improved team. And you've had some real good games with those guys over the years. And then you've got Munster at home, and then you're at a vastly improved Hammond High team that may have as much speed as you guys do, if not even more speed. Right. And then so you've got a stretch of 4 games of people that really want you. I told you the story of when I had Eric Schreiber in here, and I was talking to him after it. Hey, how you doing, Eric? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, okay. I'm like, all right, well, if you had to look at one game on your schedule, and I don't want you looking ahead, but if you had to just, he goes, oh, yeah, I could tell you that right now. We want Morton. And that was in, like, July, and that game's not until September 23rd, so they're already looking for you.
Yeah, he needs a life, I think. I'm going to go ahead and text him and tell him he needs to talk about taking his family out to a summer beach or something in the summer. But, no, he's done an unbelievable job. He's a great guy, and we're good friends. And when he came and told me he was interested in applying, I thought, what better guy to go over there to Hammond High and turn it around and get it going again. And, in the back of your mind, you're always thinking, oh, geez, Gavitt hired Robinson and Clark hired Galt and Hammond High hired Schreiber. And as a competitor, you love it. But really, those are 3 good coaches, and they're 3 good guys and good friends. And that means that there's a chance you're going to have some more losses on your schedule. But I think as a friend and a competitor and a peer, that's really what you want, and you look forward. I'm happy.
Speaking of Hammond, you're 2-0. Clark's 2-0. And
Hammond High's 2-0.
Hammond High's 2-0, and Gavitt's 1-1. They lost to Whiting on Friday night, which is not a big. Whiting's a good football team. So amongst the Hammond public schools, they're 2, 4, 6, 7-1 right now.
I looked on the website for all the conferences in the state. It said who has the best non-conference record at this point. And our conference is 7-1, has the best non-conference percentage record in the whole state. So congratulations to all the other 3 guys.
Now, once again, it's Coach Roy Richards in the house here, and we will get to those 5 words. But, I've often wondered when it was going to happen. But I thought it would happen at some point. I mean, there's such good youth football in Hammond, and there's such good junior high football in Hammond. And then it kind of tapered off for a lot of years at the high school level. I mean, obviously you guys have been strong for a few years, but now it seems like you're seeing, Hammond High beat Highland. Highland's supposed to be vastly improved. I'm like, why are we doing that game? Highland's going to kill them. And Hammond High winds up beating them on Friday night. So it was a great broadcasted game. And, what's happening now? Is it the new coaching? Is it something else?
I really think, and I don't want to say it's a new coaching because it makes it feel like the old coaching didn't do a good job, but I think sometimes it's difficult to get guys to come into the city of Hammond to be a teacher and a coach, and it takes guys like Robert Robinson and Eric Schreiber to say, hey, I want to go in and teach in Hammond. I want to be the football coach. Those guys know how to turn programs around and build programs. They're great with kids, and that's really what it's about. And congratulations to both of those schools for hiring people that are interested in coming in and doing those things, and the wins will eventually get there. I think Hammond High's probably had some good coaches. It's been a lot of turnover, not much continuity. Clark's had some pretty good continuity, and now I think Gavitt's found a guy that's really into education and teaching the kids on and off the field. So that's really the key there, and I think that's why you're seeing such a quick turnaround. Those schools are probably just one guy away from being pretty darn good.
All right, let's now tell us about the 5 words. We did this last year. We're doing it again. We're going to start it today. What is it?
Yeah, we started today, and because it's a short week, we'll have them the same ones next week. But I thought we would keep the theme with the veterans. I thought Saturday night was an unbelievable night, a great event. Yeah, we won, but that's not what's going to stick in my mind forever. That feeling of being on the field with those veterans was just awesome. There wasn't a dry eye on the field before the game started. I didn't think the emotions would be that high, but they were. So I thought, let's start with the 5 words of the week, and let's keep it being a veteran and a U.S. Armed Forces theme. The first word is adulation. That's excessive adoration or admiration. And the sentence that we're going to use is, the veterans were the subject of much-deserved, nonstop adulation on Saturday night. And if you were at the game when the veterans and the captains took the field and the place stood up for a standing ovation and didn't sit down until the national anthem was over, it was fantastic. The second word is a repeat word, detached. Detached, to be separated or disinterested or unemotional. The sentence is, I found it impossible to be detached from the emotional ceremony when the veterans walked onto Slotnick Field on Saturday night. Once again, these words are all from the SAT work list, so our kids, as they learn them, they'll continue to learn them and retain them and hopefully do better on the SAT. I thought we saw a big improvement from our football kids last year, so we certainly want to keep it up. The third word is a new word, unparalleled. The definition is unequaled or unmatched, to be peerless. And the sentence is, the crowd cheered the players on the field, but the ovation that was given to the veterans was unparalleled. And that's the truth. I mean, we had some great plays, but the biggest ovation was when the veterans came on the field and when they were pumping their fists in the air when they were being introduced. You got to have ice water in your veins if it didn't get to you. The fourth word is pedestrian. Here's another new word for us. Lacking in distinction, also dull or commonplace. The definition we will use this week is, the feeling of meeting our American heroes made the feeling of victory rather pedestrian. And there again, we won a huge game, and everybody on Sunday just wanted to talk about the veterans ceremony as well as I did, so that was pretty cool. The fifth word is a repeat word, indisputable. The definition, undeniable, not subject to argument, without a doubt. And the sentence that we will use is, Alfred's play was great, but the indisputable play of the night was when the national anthem was performed by veterans in honor of other veterans. So those are our 5 words this week.
Once again, this is Roy Richards, the head football coach at Morton High School. And if you guys remember this from last year, does 5 words a week. It's SAT, trying to prep his kids. It's been picked up by the rest of the school. They use it throughout the school. If any other schools or football teams want to get involved with this, all you got to do is email Roy at rrrichards@hammond.in.
No, Hammond.K12.
Hammond.K12.in.
.us.
.us. All right, there you go. I have it in here. I'm gonna make sure that I do it again. All right, rrrichards@hammond.K12.in.us, and he'll make sure you get the words ahead of time and you can use them in your program. And at the end of the year, when you got a 10, 12, 15, depending on how far you go, you can get 60, 70 words, or let's see, 5 times 10.
Yeah, we had 75 words last year that we covered and kept reviewing. And quite a few of our kids that took the SAT in the spring said quite a few of those words were on the test. So that made us feel good.
There you go. So, you can help on their SAT verbal score also. 219-845-1100. Let's go to Carl on line 3. Hi, Carl. How are you?
Good morning, gentlemen. Coach Richards, I'd like to thank you for the privilege of being able to go on the field last Saturday. I was one of the color guardsmen in the Desert Camouflage.
Awesome. Carl, thank you. I tell you what, the honor and the privilege was certainly ours. I don't think our players and our fans realized what a treat it was going to be. When I was on the field with you guys and Ricky was reading that poem and every coach and every player was crying, I tell you what, the privilege was certainly ours and the honor was ours. Thank you very much, Carl.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Carl, hold on a second. How'd you feel when that was going on during that ceremony?
It was hard to keep back emotion. A lot of good training goes behind having the stone face when you're out there at attention. And not so much for myself. I mean, I think America's turned the corner on how to treat veterans. But my comrades in arms from the Vietnam era, that was long overdue. And as Mr. Hanlon so eloquently put it in the Times, they deserve that, and it was much needed. Thanks again, Coach.
Thank you, Carl.
And once again, if you're just joining us, Morton football coach Roy Richards is here. On Saturday night, they had the Saturday night salute, and that was a tribute to local veterans, and many came out, and there was a big ceremony beforehand. And, of course, it was $7 to get in. 2 of that dollars worth goes to helping some veterans. Let's take another phone call. Let's go to Vinny on line 1. Vinny, what up, man?
Hey, how you guys doing? Hey, Coach, how you doing? Great victory on Saturday. Coach Richards, the young kid who knocked the ball out when the little running back was going for a touchdown, that was a big play. And how did you feel about that as a turnaround for your team to get that victory?
Well, thank you, Vinny. We always talk to our kids. Good things are going to happen out there, and bad things are going to happen out there, and it's not so much that they are going to happen; it's how you react to them and when they happen. We could have easily let them score, try to score at the end to win the game, and Alfred isn't one of those kids, and none of our kids are. And he made an unbelievable play to knock it out, and then we turned around and then reacted very positively to that by turning around and throwing a 78-yard touchdown 3 plays later. So I think that's really what our kids are all about, not ever giving up and taking advantage of whenever they get an opportunity. If the door's not closed, by all means, let's go ahead and go through it. So it's certainly hats off to our kids and the way they played.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're a quarterback, McCormick. I watched the game on Comcast, and he is one heck of a quarterback. He can run the ball, he can spread out the offense, and you have a great team, Coach.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm probably harder on those guys than you are right now, and I see Chris making unbelievable plays every day, so I get a little frustrated when it doesn't go quite as planned. But not only a great player, he's a great student and a great kid, and we have quite a few of those, and I kind of feel like I'm always favored whenever you have players like that on your team. But thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Vin.